Good morning, Edwin. Good morning, anymore.
Good morning.
Morning.
And how was the weekend, Edwin? You were at the Fancy Dome for a while.
It was sleepless. It was sleepless.
Sleepless
yes,
in Trefe.
It was a sleepless weekend.
Labadi.
Sleepless.
It was a pretty sleepless.
And it was filled. It was filled with mosquitoes, literally and metaphorically. I mean, it was just filled.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Literally and metaphorically.
There was a big mosquito in there, the little mosquitoes. Yeah. Yes, but it was a very eventful weekend. The NDC Congress captured our attention. A 48-hour. Have you ever seen a Congress take that long, Edwin?
I have not. I mean, it was very disconcerting because at a certain point, we just couldn't know when it was going to finish. You know, this Congress is almost like the second coming of Jesus Christ. We don't know. We just didn't know.
But we know
but eventually it finished. It finished, yes, at almost 1 a.m. I think about 12:45.
Yes. So after which we got the chance to speak with the general, the big mosquito.
The literal or the
the metaphorical. Justin Esedun Keta. We'll be hearing him this morning on the show.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that interview. He was very endearing.
Yeah,
in a way. Yes.
You know, he's such a simple man,
especially when he's not wearing the winter.
Okay, there's a lot more on the NDC Congress in the newspapers, I am sure.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Daily Graphic. And Ofosu Ampafo chairs NDC. Asiedun Ketia, still General Secretary. Police commander in critical condition after being shot by assailants. Articulated truck runs over school children, killing 5 of them. And on the back page of the Daily Graphic, there's a narrow win for the Black Queens in the women's AFCON game on Saturday.
Congratulations, Black Queens.
Despite the narrow win, yes. And Cameroon go top of Group A. That's it for the Daily Graphic.
In the Ghanaian Times, ex-President Mahama accuses government of corruption. 16 NDC delegates involved in an accident. There is an editorial that reminds us that today is World Toilet Day.
That's an interesting one. Front page of the Chronicle. Armed men open fire on police. BNI officers, some sustained various degrees of wounds. NDC displays incompetence at Congress. Even national elections don't take this long. That's according to the Chronicle, saying that a delegate said that. And General Mosquito sweats to win. That's the Chronicle.
Inside the Daily Graphic, there is the interesting story about Rollins rocking Kunedu's 70th birthday.
Yeah, did you see the video?
It was
fantastic. It was fantastic. Yes.
I think that was the reason why Rollins left under a minute at the Congress, and just to have fun with the wife.
I mean, it was necessary.
Yes, and I think looking from the video, it was probably worth it.
I think it was.
Yes, I think it was. There's another story in the Daily Guide. Utufo settles Andani Abudu rift in Dagbon crisis. Mosquito sucks Koku's blood. And Rollins confuses NDC with coded message.
On the front page of the Ghanaian Observer, Kufuor charges police to remain neutral. 2019 budget, big boost for entrepreneurs, according to John Kuma. NIA bites mosquito over voter ID lies, and government hits road over 2019 budget.
Yes, Mahama boys still in charge. Today newspaper, collapsed building injures 7. Cop battles life after gunshots. Inside the newspaper, there is PPP 6 partnership ahead of the 2020 polls.
On the front page of the Daily Statesman, John Mahama, don't insult our intelligence. Ghana Gas standing our ground. There's an editorial or feature about Ghana Gas inside the Daily Statesman. Chaotic NDC confab ends. Anita Desusu cries foul over non-Ewe executives. And I remember the cry of dismay that went up when her name was mentioned, and she had, I think it was about 300 votes or so. So yes, managers of Ghana's economy begin budget roadshow. And those are the stories in the Daily Statesman.
In the new Crusading Guide, there's an interesting story about huge number of Presbyterian ministers seeking divorce. Trouble looms at Talensi, and government creating conducive business-friendly environments.
Is that it, Edwin? Okay, on the front page of the Finder, 11.3 million Ghana City Bank fraud. Police arrest staff of defunct Unibank over illegal transfers. Over 90% of banking fraud comes from employees. That's according to the Bank of Ghana. Economic management team dominates media discussions of 2019 budget, as of course. Ofosu Ampafo is the NDC's new chairman, and 2019 budget thumbs up from TUC.
Guys, before we go into our first story, this goes to you, Edwin Appiah. That was a soundtrack for the NDC's Congress over the weekend. So I've heard this song by Evangelist Ike, and I must say I was not expecting what I heard on Sunday morning, Monday morning, I should say, when former President Mahama was entering the fantasy. Well, when he was mounting the days. Yes. No, they played it when he was entering the fantasy dome, and then when he was mounting days, it was quite an interesting moment. Also to see General Mosquito dancing.
It was.
Yes, but you see, the substantive matter here is that what does Boboli Bobo mean? That is the crux of the matter. You people are happily saying,
but we're okay. But the issue is that we didn't know all those meanings, but we had fun with it.
I mean, Zoo and Zad don't sound as frightening as Boboli Bobo.
I'm sure the one who be, I think the NPP will be most concerned about
this Bobo.
That we'll be hearing of. Anywho, guys, so let's get into the NDC's Congress, shall we?
Yes. Okay. So Edwin mentioned the story about Rawlings. I'm going to start with that. So yes, perhaps because he was going to his wife's 70th birthday, he didn't talk too much, but apparently a lot of the NDC delegates were confused by what he said, and they're struggling to decipher his speech, his one-lined, his speech. And this is what he said. He said, listen to yourselves and move on as a unit. So I'm not sure. That's according to the Daily Graphic. I'm not too sure what is confusing about that. But wait, the Daily Guide says this is what he said. I would wish for the spirit of the old days. Is it possible to bring it back? I hope so, but that can only happen if we cultivate the habit of listening to ourselves. And to be honest, it seems pretty straightforward to me, but I'm not sure what the confusion is about. But anyway.
But that's not the only thing that came up at the NDC Congress, is it?
No. I mean, at the NDC Congress, just a little bit of background. I mean, 9,000 delegates voted for more than 16 hours at a Congress that lasted 40 hours. And that's probably the reason why you would call that example of participatory democracy a great feat for the NDC, but at the same time it raises issues about planning. I'm
going to explore some of those issues with you in a minute, Edwin. But yes. Any more details?
Yes, so more details. Just we know that there were 9,350 delegates, like Edwin said, 7,850 observers. So there were about 17,000 people in the Fantasy Dome. Now I'm just going to go through really quickly the list of winners, or the list of the new people in charge. So for national chairman, we have Mr. Samuel Ofosu Ampofo. Vice chairman, we have Chief Sofo Azoka, Madam Sherry Aite, and Alhaji Said Senari. So that's vice chairman, and then deputy 1 and deputy 2. General secretary, we know that Mr. Johnson Asiedu Nketia took the day with a massive difference. And he did say in the interview that he's never won by anything less than 80%.
Yes,
so y'all better recognize that's how he rolls. Deputy general secretary, Barbara Sewa Asamoah and Peter Boama Otokono won the deputy. Otukono, sorry. They won the 2 deputy general slots. National organizer went to Mr. Joshua Hamidu Akamba. Deputy national organizer went to Chief Hamilton Baini. Hamilton Baini.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no Nixon here, but you'll be paid. And Kobe Balonde won the deputy national organizer positions. And then the young man, Sami Jemfi, won communications officer by also a very large margin. And he is being deputized by Kweku Boahin and Godwin Ako Akogun.
Godwin Akogun of the Muntie 3.
Yes, and then of course, Alhaji Mama Mohammed Cole Younger was elected the National Zongo Caucus coordinator. So that's the list.
Of course, earlier, George Opare Hammond, Pablo won youth organizer, and Hannah Bisu, the former deputy minister, won women's organizer. So, Edwin, what does this mean, really?
You know, one thing that was obvious to me at the Congress was that the NDC has lost its fear. You know, prior to this Congress, after 2016, I mean, at the Fantasy Dome, this was not a party that looked like it lost 1 million votes in the last election. They didn't look like it was a party that was afraid of the NPP's threats to prosecute. And when President Mahama actually mounted the stage to repeat that if the challenge the NPP to go ahead and prosecute his appointees, that moment captured a party that had lost its fear of the NPP totally. In 2020, what you are going to see is a party that does not believe it has little chance of winning the election. It could have sounded incredulous if you said that in 2016. Today, at the Fantasy Dome over the weekend, the NDC was severely empowered and very ready for action. The only thing that you see when you have a man like Asiedun Ketia winning, set to become the longest serving general secretary of the party, then you know the party is getting ready for battle. Asiedun Ketia, by the way, has never lost an election before since 2004 when he became general secretary. 2005 when he became general secretary. At the first election, he actually got 93% of the ballot. The last one in Tamale, the other one in Tamale, the first one he got nearly 90%. The second one he got 93%. In 2014, Farrakhan got 600 votes. Asiedun Ketia got 81.5%. And so this election, he witnessed a marginal drop of 1% on his
to
votes.
Get 80%.
Yes.
And it's instructive to note that the first election, he went against a sitting general secretary.
Exactly. And you see, whilst we can throw Kuku and Edo and everything, I think Kuku did a great job because he got almost 3 times the number of votes that the last NDC challenger to Asiedun Ketia actually got. You know.
Interesting. We'll be hearing from Mr. Asiedun Ketia himself this morning as he describes exactly what happened. But I think we must do this one more time for our friends from the NDC.
Yeah.
So, like Edwin said, a party that's not afraid, a party that's ready to show bobo, le bobo, whatever that means. But Edwin, let's move on with government beginning demolition.
Yes, the demolition has started. I mean, yeah. The government has promised to build a national cathedral, you know, and in the Herald newspaper today we have pictures of the demolitions, how the judges' residence are being pulled apart. Now, what appears to have been confusing in this whole controversy is that it has been reduced to an NDC MPP battle of we want the cathedral, we don't think it's a priority. But there's significant sections of society believe the real controversy is about why you have to pull down the residence at a prime location, a judicial training institute, all these buildings at that location in order to build a cathedral. And that is the most unfortunate part of the whole controversy, that it has become political mudslinging. Generally, people are for the cathedral. The idea is that why do you have to build it where you are building it? We have reports that the built some of the buildings barely 5 years ago. They have not even finished paying for the construction of these residential facilities. It is being raised down to build a national cathedral, what Samson Ladi calls on a foundation of lies. Last week, we got confirmation that government is going to provide the seed money. That seed money was not in the budget. I presume, just as Abraham was told to expect the sacrifice will come later, we are also supposed to expect how much government is going to provide later.
Thanks, Edwin. But anymore, let's go to that disturbing story that we got over the weekend of a shooting in Nsuta.
Yes. So what happened was that there were some suspects. Moses Obodai, about 2 weeks ago, was butchered whilst he was sending his son to school. So there were some suspects, and what they did was that for some reason they decided to ambush the police who were looking for them. So they laid ambush, they set up roadblocks, laid ambush, and then when the police were coming on the road, they shot at them. And we know that four policemen have been injured. One of them was shot in the face and the neck, and he's currently on admission at Komfanoche Teaching Hospital. His condition seems to be stable. The other ones, the injuries are not specified, but they also seem to be quite stable. So it's a strange story. The 3 persons who laid ambush have been arrested, so they are in jail at the moment, and they're waiting going on trial.
Let me stay with you anymore and tell us about the 90% of banking fraud coming from employees.
Okay, so Dr. Joe France, who is the Director of Financial Stability for the Bank of Ghana, has said that over 90% of fraud-related cases in the banking sector are actually associated with its employees. And so we seem to think that a lot of it is going on outside, but it's actually going on.
It's an inside job.
Yes, it's an inside job. So in 2017, we lost more than 30 million Ghana cedis to financial crime. The thing about this is that a lot of it happens through unauthorized withdrawals from customer accounts, especially through internet banking, and payment of international remittances to persons other than the intended beneficiaries, and also ATM related disputes. So you find that money has been taken out of your account, you follow it, and then you get frustrated and then you let it go. So that's what's happening. 1,529 complaints were received over that period from the general public against the banks, and then 1,362 cases against non-bank financial institutions. So the Director of Financial Stability is asking for collaborations to flush out these risks through creating a very robust system of verification and building trust also, and making sure that you're not giving out your PIN number to other people, and you're making sure that your internet is secure, things like that. So that's the story about fraud this morning.
Yes, so you need to be careful when you're dealing with, but of course the Bank of Ghana has been cracking down on some of these irregularities in the banking sector, and of course you can trust your bank, but just take a second look when you're making these transactions.
Talking about fraud, is it right if I say, is it okay to mention? I am going to mention that we were with Kweku Adoboli over the weekend. That interview, that amazing interview, which we'll be bringing very soon.
Very soon.
The biggest
watch out for
case in history ever recorded.
Yes.
So it was a good
You want
interview.
to hear the man at the center of it who traces his roots to this patch.
We could actually do a documentary out of the whole thing.
No, we could. It's a good story. I think it will become a movie at some point. And at some point, we did talk to him about how he felt about.
Let's call Raymond. We'll do a documentary on it.
Interesting one there. Let's go online, guys. And the online news review is brought to you by Zenith Bank, in your best interest. Goil Good Energy, and download the Safe Doctor app now from Google Play. Safe Doctor, the future of better medical care. Now, from now till January 2019, anytime you buy Goil fuel, 80 cedis and above, collect a scratch card, dial *161 *4645 hash, and follow the steps. You'll receive an instant message for your reward. Then you get rewards like free fuel, airtime, lunch for 2, driver's vest, and many more. So buy more, text more to accrue more points, because additionally there will be loyalty rewards every month. When you accrue the highest points, you receive a Goil Go card loaded up to 1,000 Ghana cedis free fuel, or free lubricants plus free servicing and hotel accommodation for 2. This is in the Goil Ifie Nifie promo, which runs till January 2019. Terms and conditions apply. Goil Good Energy, Goil Yenara Yedia. Now, your bank of choice, Zenith Bank, is the best customer service bank in Ghana. Our ability to serve you with the very best of products and services in the banking industry has earned us the Excellence in Customer Service Award at the 2018 Ghana Business Awards. We've also won several notable customer service awards, both locally and internationally. So go on, make that move today and achieve your aspirations with Zenith Bank, because we care. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. In the online review, we'll start with myjoyonline.com. Adekoka says Koku's attempts to oust Esiedun Ketia was wrong. You want to know why? Read the article on myjoyonline.com. Never try to oust your boss. That's another angle of that. Adekoka advises after Koku's defeat. NPP can't teach NDC how to elect leaders. Ejenim Boateng jabs. Building under construction caves in, one fear trapped in rubble. This is just here, North Industrial Area in Kanishi. You want to read about that. And the central bank is not taking over Ideal Finance. Management has clarified. Also, the review of 35% income tax was a great sacrifice. Ken Oforiatta speaking there. He was speaking on Newsfile over the weekend when he was answering all your questions, curated by Samson Lardy Ayenini. We're going to be stepping into the news review in a moment. But before we do that, let's hear a snippet of what newly elected chairman of the NDC, Samuel Ofosu Ampofo, had to say after he won.
Samuel Ofosu Ampofo had 3,656.
The media wants to cease, especially those on the various WhatsApp platforms. Let us use the WhatsApp as a productive tool for organization rather than a destructive tool to bring our party down. Your Excellency, my administration will be governed by discipline, and that party members will be equipped to be under the discipline of the party.
And that was Samuel Ofosu Ampofo. He's newly elected chairman of the NDC. Now, Edwin, now that the NDC Congress is out of the way, our lenses are back on the NPP administration, who are in charge of running the state, of course. Now, how do you think they are doing in executing and accounting for the mandate we gave them as a people? That's a trick question. Well, Joy FM is staging a forum that will be the most scrutinizing ever of government's performance so far. It's called the Scorecard. It's coming off on the 27th of November at Labadi Beach Hotel. It will be very hot from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. You want to be a part of this forum, and Edwin, we can't wait for it.
You know, scorecard. This is probably the best place to find out who your
But when you say the scorecard, there should be the theme music. So the scorecard.
Okay. Yes, a lot of excitement there from Enimwa. But do join us during the scorecard. The scorecard, I mean,
and you know,
on the
this is the
27th
second time
of November.
Joy FM is having a program to find out from government how much government is using our resources and how much it's been able to fulfill its promise. You remember the first time we had something with Baumia.
Yes.
100 days in
the vice president.
Exactly.
That's
and now
the town hall.
Exactly. So after 22 months, this is the most important opportunity to actually assess whether government is doing the right thing.
We're going to be looking at all the sectors. Join us at the Labadi Beach Hotel on the 27th of November. It's all a super morning show. Stay with us. We'll be back with the BBC News after this.